All right, just chat me in our side chat. By the way, are we ever gonna just move that into Discord? Or like, are the memories just too good, so I have to keep Skype installed on my stupid computer?
Wait, what?
Saying what? We could just move our chat that we've had for 10 years into Discord or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm opposed to change.
I'm with Father James.
I like my Skype, my Discord, every single app, text.
Why won't you guys respond to me on AIM anymore?
My Yahoo Messenger.
My MySpace still doing good.
Anyway, if you guys can just chat me in there, it sounds like that conversation derailed and we're not. I still have to keep Skype installed. Just let me know like what time you guys would like to wrap up, since we kind of dawdled a little bit getting into it.
Okay.
Just to be respectful of everyone's time. All right.
I mean, I'll keep the timer. We could attempt for like a good 30, 35-minute podcast. Keep it nice and sweet and short.
Or
Since
we could
we
just
already
say
had a pre-30-minute podcast.
Yeah, so we could just say the podcast started 20 minutes ago. What's the difference?
No. Where's the intro music?
The awkward countdown that didn't need to happen didn't happen.
Yeah, I was a count up.
You're like 3, 2. Oh wait, why am I counting down? I just start the music.
Look, if you guys want, I'll just say we've already been live for a while.
That's.
Or if you want to do an official intro, I'll do an official intro.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We have a professional standard to keep. So I don't know if I want to use that content when we have such high quality normally.
That's a good point, James. All right, since it's been a while, I'm going to clap so I can find this 30 minutes into the recording. All right.
Boy, that was off.
Did you start?
Yeah.
I think it's because Discord tries to like quiet him, I think, or something.
Did you start the timer, Joel? All right, so Joel, this time I'm gonna clap.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was like enjoying watching you clap. Okay. It was that.
To be fair, it was fascinating to hear.
We just watched Godzilla vs Kong, and like his hands were just like the waves. Okay, ready.
I think Jeremiah just woke up the mother boxes.
What kind of superpower do you have? I got big hands.
Why are you talking in that voice?
I'm big.
Yeah, that's my superpower.
What's your superpower again? I'm big.
The reveal in the movie is like, whoom, and they just keep going.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know where you're going with that, but that was funny anyway.
Okay. All right.
So on it'll be 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna clap first so I can find this again.
Yeah.
But you're gonna start when I say go. Okay.
Yeah.
The delay is so bad it might not help you.
No. All right. This is just so I can find it in my recording. All right. 3.
Was she wondering if there's a thunderstorm?
1, go.
Got it.
Did you start the timer? Okay. I just saw. Got it.
I have to talk. What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming and life. Am I right, boys? All right. Tonight, I'm joined by Papa James.
What's up?
Joel.
Heyo.
And Ranger Dave.
Talking about life.
I tell you what, I'm vibing pretty hard right now.
Is that the word for partially gassed?
You never know when the edible's gonna hit.
I don't know. I just thought if Jeremiah passes the gas insane, he just goes. It can be one of the superpowers. You pass gas, you turn around quick, and you go like this, and it's just like
You know,
Like a desert dust storm.
Feels like a sandstorm on the horizon. It's coming.
You know, in the last 3 years, I think I'd gotten over some of my body dysmorphia issues or my insecurities about my size, but man, it
What
turns
is the
out
correlation there?
Joel,
like,
who's several
I
inches
just finished
shorter.
the last class.
Joel, you're like several inches shorter, and you're like, "Hello, monster. Although there was a picture from our beach trip in 2014 where I'm sitting on the couch, I think next to you or Dave, and I looked at my knees. I was like, my knees are like physically twice as big. Everyone's wearing shorts. Like I never feel like I'm awkwardly big until I see pictures of me around other people, and I'm like, ugh.
You just need to change your mindset to we're all just awkwardly small.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's
Gandalf
only
and the Hobbits.
yeah, it's only awkwardly small if you do like you have to bend over in a really exaggerated way to talk to somebody. Like if you feel like you want to go down on one knee, like "What's up, sport?"
How many girls thought you were proposing to them, but you really were just talking to them?
You're like, where do you want to go for dinner? You gotta like go down on one knee.
I was I think I was 5'10" when I was 12.
Wow.
I was very skinny too. I was very bean Polish.
Also, Jeremiah, if you could please start calling everyone at work sport, that would really make my day a lot better. I would love
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
I'll get written up in HR. They're like, we don't know. It just makes people uncomfortable. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway. All right. So anyway, welcome to the podcast. As always, we're doing this every once in a while. We don't have a main topic for tonight. I'm gonna try to get this back on track.
We're just catching up with the news. No, we're like, this is like when someone's like, dude, have you seen the latest couple seasons of the show? And I'm like, dude, I can't watch 24 episodes. So you just have to lie. Like, yeah, dude, it's great. I'm just reading the spoilers. Yeah, man, I'm totally caught up. I'm like, I can't do it.
Well, that's why anytime someone's, I have no idea what that had to do with what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I'm very confused, Joel. Is that
No,
this
like our
podcast?
news, like because we don't have time for a topic. We're just trying to catch up on the news we did from last week.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you were saying that this was like some kind of catch-up episode for the podcast.
Yeah, like analogy for
news.
catching up on our actual news.
Right, because we're old. Now I got you.
Yeah.
Somebody
And
just
that'll
came to our door and rang the
Oh, yeah,
doorbell.
You should go check, Jeremiah.
Now they're backing up. I'm watching them on video. Now they're turning around.
You should go out there. I might have gotten you something. I'm serious.
I don't know.
Go check it out.
Do you realize that the podcast audience needs to know
All right.
what's
I
going
just
on?
I Grubhubbed something for Jeremiah.
Oh man, thank you, Joel.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
All right.
you'll see. Go
Well, thank you.
Get the
Explain to
surprise.
everyone what's going on,
We'll
I
continue.
guess.
Anyway,
this
so
is all a
Jeremiah's
trap.
going outside to the murderer I hired.
This is Joel's
There's a
podcast.
sub with a gun tip in it. Like the
It's
Office.
like a Tommy gun in a giant sub.
Trench coat. Smoking. Oh man.
Oh, so what's the explanation?
Well, he said he was just having a rough day, so I got him a whole bunch of tacos. I got him a strawberry breeze drink, whatever, and then a bunch of cinnamon twists.
Nice.
Anyways,
How much booze?
there we go. How much booze you have from Taco Bell?
Yeah. Like how much wine is in that smoothie?
Joel, you just Grubhubbed me Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks, man.
Did you get what? Did you get the? There's like a slushy drink or something.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
It's drawn up right now.
And I got something extra in there for your wife, so because you can't just get one for you and then get away with it. Cinnamon twists, man, those things are freaking awesome. So we added a bunch of news from last week, or at least I don't even know. It's not really news anymore. It's more of just like things we found were interesting that you guys probably already read about, and now we're finally talking about. But can I talk about one thing that I'm really excited about? It's and I'm actually really surprised they like announced it like out of nowhere. The PlayStation 5 VR controller, like they actually like showed it off, and then I'm just kind of like amazed. Like I don't know, it just seemed almost kind of random. Like okay, you're showing off a legit controller, like not like the whole thing or the headset or anything else. Nothing else has been announced other than the controller. Dude, Taco Supreme, baby. So
Oh my. For those of you not watching with video right now, you are missing out.
he takes all three tacos, puts them close together. No, but if you guys
Remember
haven't
that
gotten a
scene?
chance,
Remember that scene in Avengers Endgame where Hulk was eating tacos.
Yeah.
That's about what you can imagine right now if you're just listening.
No, but the cool thing that I'm excited about the new VR system is the fact that, like, first the controllers were the worst part about the PlayStation VR.
Absolutely.
The headset
Well, the
was
tracking was
really
pretty bad,
good.
too.
Yeah, the headset was great. All their games were great. Like, I think they had the best games for VR because it was the most accessible to play. They got most of the ports. See, there was only a handful of smaller ones. But I think with Sony and the consoles, they had like a much bigger budget. So other than now Half-Life being released, which I'm sure is going to come to PlayStation 5, but I'm glad that the controllers they have like a mix of Oculus Rift kind of feel to them with their own branding, and they're going to be bringing the really cool tech in the controllers, which is like the force feedback stuff, and the controllers are legitimately really cool. Like the force feedback has like a 5.1 surround of force feedback. That's the only way I can explain it. Like, I was playing Demon Souls, and the coolest thing about it is that when you...
5.1. So
What's
where's
that?
the bass? Where's the bass feedback at? Your feet start rumbling.
Well, the coolest thing, James, is like your character, you light a flame sword, like put flames on your sword in Demon Souls. You can feel the flaming sword. It's not just like traditionally on consoles, the right side of a controller just kind of vibrates, like on or off. It's kind of that. Yeah. This legitimately, you can feel, it's almost like the ripple of the flames. But as your character like flings it left or swipes it, you actually feel it cross the controller. And it just feels so cool. Like an example, like in Kingdom Come, you know, when you're holding a torch walking through, when you hear the flame sound, you can feel that, and it really like you can feel the sound of it and the heat off of it. It adds such a cool level to it. So when you're going like slow walking through a cave, you can feel the torch kind of flicking around, and you just got to experience it. But it's one of those things that, like, again, you can live without it, but it really is done well, and so that makes me really excited for the PlayStation 5 controller because. I mean, that's just going to be awesome because the trigger response, they can have something where, let's say you're like a surgeon or whatever, and you have to push like a needle or something like that. But then when you hit the end of it, it will actually stop, and it will, or they can do, adjustments and stuff. So I'm pretty stoked about this. So if people haven't seen it, look up PlayStation 5 VR controller. So I have no idea when it's coming out, but it's exciting. And it looks like it's not going to be based cameras because that was terrible last time.
Still, I'm glad they're announcing peripherals for the system I still can't buy. Apparently, did they say it's their fastest selling console ever? Is that right? How?
Yep. I mean, if you kept on it a little bit more, you could actually get one now. It's not
really?
too hard to get. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's one you can't just walk into. What's that?
It's still absolutely hard.
It
still sells out within like a minute.
Are you still trying to get one, James?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually,
maybe
I had one in the cart ready to go, but I was literally flying down for vacation for like 10 days. And I was like, oh, crap. I couldn't actually get it at that time. That was literally the only time I actually had it in the cart and ready to go.
That sucks.
Well, I'm having fun.
I'm having fun.
How many tacos are in that bag, Jeremiah?
3.
And
And a slushy and some cinnamon twists. Like, this is a late night stoner meal right here.
No judgment zone. You know what, Jeremiah?
Thank you.
You just enjoy yourself.
Joel, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done.
I will point out that Joel enjoyed a luscious Japanese meal, and then Grubhub Jeremiah Taco Bell.
I will say I'd forgotten how bad Taco Bell food is. Like, you can just look at it and you're like, this isn't Mexican food. Like, I don't know what this is. It tastes good.
dude, I love the Doritos tacos. Like,
Oh yeah, boy.
I will suffer through like the mess for that because it's so good.
I'm going
Joel?
to show my age here. I don't know if you guys are even old enough. There was this thing called the Chilito back in the day. I think it ended up being called a chili cheese burrito, but they had like the chili flavored Fritos inside the burrito itself. Do you remember that?
I remember. I never had it, but I do
want
remember.
that.
I remember seeing commercials for it.
It was good. I don't know why they took it away.
All I know is you're not a gamer unless you occasionally partake in a Dorito Taco Bell taco washed down by Baja Blast. Hashtag gamers
Dude,
rise up.
every time I go to Taco Bell, and it's very rare, but I'll go every, I don't know, like every 2 months or something like that. Like, I really want to get Taco Bell. Always get Baja Blast. It's just such a good flavor pairing with Taco Bell. It really is. But honestly, my favorite things there is I just love just the regular bean burritos, but I always ask for like extra onions. That's about it. I like that, and like the standard tacos, but nice and clean. And I never eat
Casual
burritos
Shenanigans
with
Gaming
driving.
Podcast is brought to you by Taco Bell.
I was making a flavor. I made a flavor of ice cream this weekend. Honey, balsamic, vinaigrette, strawberry, black pepper.
I'm skeptical, I have to say.
I'm gonna make it again because a lot of people really, really liked it.
Well, strawberry and balsamic does go well together in salad, so I'm still skeptical. After considering, I'm continuing to be skeptical.
James, what do you say about our high production standards right before we started this? Because this
It was,
went
just
off.
it was for a laugh. I didn't really think we ever had high standards.
How's the Corona going, James?
It's okay so far.
How did you made it all this way? What happened?
I don't know.
Who was it?
I think it was a kid first, honestly. And family.
'Cause the mutations are hitting younger people
Yeah.
pretty good right now, right? Like Michigan is like...
Yeah, like literally
tons.
all of us got symptoms
Yeah.
pretty quickly. So
How's the taste?
it's there.
For some reason, I thought you'd already gotten your first shot, at least, James.
No, I was actually scheduled to get it today.
Oh.
Oh,
And you came to the podcast instead?
No, he's sick. He's not allowed to go in. I don't let you come get the COVID shot around all the people without.
That's not how it works,
Well,
Joel.
I
doesn't
thought
just
it was
go
like
away
something scheduled
immediately.
right now, like he was going to go today for some reason. I was like, oh, okay. I was
was
like,
gonna
did she
go
like miss the
today.
podcast for that?
He
I was
Yeah.
going to go today.
Yeah, I get it. I
Okay,
get it.
all right.
Yeah.
I will warn you, James. For about 5 days, I was all excited after Jess tested positive. I was like, I got a little bit of fever, a little bit of aches. I'm like, I still have all my taste. And it was like day 6. I woke up and I couldn't taste anything. And I think I just woke up and screamed, screamed into the void. Like it just all of a sudden came out.
Did
of
you go
nowhere.
through the house tasting like everything?
Yeah, I actually tried a bunch of different stuff. I had, I think it was the day after I lost my taste. I had those stupid hot Cheetos, like the crazy.
It
like,
was those,
Yeah.
Dave. That's what ruined you.
I ate 2 bags
It
of
was
them
the like
back to
6-month-old Cheetos.
back. They weren't expired yet. They were getting close, but they weren't there yet. I ate 2 of the small bags of them back to back, and all I got was the burn, like nothing else. It sucked. That's what I knew.
Thanks, bud.
So
Keep that spirit up.
So what's going on with Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah.
I wanted to say when we're thinking about the last, we talked about the fastest selling console. I feel like if Xbox would just up their production of their Series X, if it was even possible at this point, I feel like they could. This would be a huge opportunity for them because they're always sold out, just like PS4. I don't know if they're any slower really. I mean, I've seen it last a little bit longer in a cart than the PS4 or PS5. But I feel like if they could just double their production and just say, we don't know how many we're selling, we don't know how many PS5s they're selling, and then actually grab a bigger piece of the market share because there's nothing else available.
And you said like the other day it was like potentially like Microsoft and Switch or Nintendo could be doing something. I mean, it's like a huge rumor, but potentially moving like what Xbox Game Pass or something like that to the Switch, so you could basically play Xbox games on the Switch. Because apparently I think it was Japan. Like it's just Xbox doesn't sell at all, or it's not doing good at all. So, but the Switch is pretty much the 100% main console there.
So they would just be using
By a
they'd be
lot.
using for streaming, like for Xbox.
That I would assume so. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Because no Xbox game could fit on a Switch unless you had like a giant SD card. But
I've done the streaming. Have you tried it?
I've tried it back in the day. I haven't tried anything recently.
Oh yeah,
streaming thing.
the new version of their live streaming game service. I played on my phone.
Oh, wow.
I was playing Forza Horizon, like streaming
Wow.
Xbox One X graphics to my phone, and it was
Wow.
actually like okay responsive. I had to use a plug-in controller. You can't use like a touchscreen.
That's pretty
Really,
cool.
Microsoft
But
has
I mean,
nailed backwards cross-compatible, whatever. Like, they're just... I think they've got a way better ecosystem than Sony right now. Sony has a lot of first-party games that people really like. Like, that's pretty much the trade-off. Like, the ecosystem on the Xbox, just everything it can tie into and all the different ways they give you way better free games and everything. It's pretty incredible. And I like that they haven't totally forgotten about PC.
I'll hop on this BioShock story real quick because this is a rumor that keeps coming up, which usually lends itself to some degree of accuracy. The rumors that BioShock 4, which we know a new BioShock of some type has been in development for years, the rumors keep pointing to an open world BioShock, and I am cautiously excited. As long as it plays like a BioShock game and the atmosphere is there and the story focus is there, I've always wanted to explore more of Rapture and I'm mind blanking on the floating city name from Infinite. Yeah, the name of the city I've forgotten. I love the world. I even read some of the books, which weren't great. the accompanying books, not super great.
not good.
But okay, so yeah, I would describe it like this. I'm really on the fence because on the one hand, I would love at least one open world BioShock game that had like a couple hundred hours of exploring and all to do. On the other hand, I'm slowly turning into Joel, where I'm looking for more and more focused experiences I can commit to. I mean, it took me almost 5 months to beat Cyberpunk. That's just to get to the main story, like just how things are these days. But if it was done well, I would really enjoy one open world. I just hope that's not a new direction for the series or anything. What do you guys think? Would you be up for that, an open world BioShock?
To me, I think the biggest part is like, I don't know, for BioShock, I would say I'd rather not. I definitely would rather not, because to me, whenever I hear open world, I think of randomization, not just of the world, but like, again, like for example, one example with Cyberpunk is I hate the like infinite randomized weapons. Nothing ever feels special. And I think with a game like BioShock, there's something just so satisfying that when you get through an area and you do buy that new weapon from a store, it's very significant, and you have to choose which upgrade path or whatever you're doing. And there's never been an open world game that can compare to a real linear, I think, single player story where it just feels so tight. It just feels very tight, and it's a, like you can have like Uncharted, like obviously, right? That's like, I mean, that's really, really linear too. But like when you go back to like the Half-Life games or things like that, like you can't have that same exact experience with open world, no matter what it is. Like I love Skyrim. It's one of my absolute favorite games ever. I mean, I loved Witcher 3 too. But also when you play a game like that, you start a story and you go play Gwent for 45 hours. You do a couple random quests. Like the same, like if you think of Fallout 4, like the story was so crippling bad because the moment you leave, you're not doing anything related to the main story. Like I don't know anybody who played that game and didn't just go through the main. Like if you were playing the main story, I think the main story is actually pretty decent if you just continue it right after another. But a lot of those games, you always find a wall and you have to go do stuff and everything else, and then you want to, but then that really waters down the story because all of a sudden it's not urgent. Witcher 3, it's not urgent to go save Ciri, like, at all. Like, because the game's not forcing you to, but it just feels stupid. Like, yay, I'm a professional hunter, and I'm going to go play Gwent or do these random things to help someone find lost chickens. Like, again,
I feel like the point is spiraling off here.
But
I feel like Joel's she's ranting from this into, like, here's other things I don't like. No, but
anyways, I hope... I wouldn't mind, like, a little bit, like, a larger world where it's more to explore. Think of, like Alien Isolation. Like, it had a lot to explore, and you had some side things, but you still had, like, the main. Well,
that's right. I was gonna use that as an example, because think of like Columbia, where BioShock Infinite was.
Yeah.
That could have easily been an Alien Isolation, like open world. Like I don't open world. I think since so many games do try to do like the Assassin's Creed model of like it's even bigger than before, and to the point where it's I don't think it makes the gameplay a lot better. Like, I think of BioShock, where it's something like Columbia, it's a small open world. There's no reason it couldn't have the same feel, because all the story missions could still be scripted in the world, but the like all the, I don't know, just cruising around, upgrading your weapons, exploring all the little, like, David want to listen to the 3,500 different cassette tapes they have scattered around, that type of stuff. Like, I feel like it could work. I agree with you. I would like it to be a focused open world if they're going to do it, though.
I was going to use Stalker as an example, actually, of a partial open world where Stalker was like a hub-based open world where you start in one area, and yeah, you do go through an open world progression, but each area has like 6 keystone locations to it. Like, you're not wandering. It's like there's the abandoned farm, the abandoned concrete plant, and stuff like that. So you have maybe like 5 hours of content per open world section. Like, it's not anything wild. And
Dave,
all the quests in Stalker are unique. There are no real like side quests.
I think I've got a good example for a slightly open world BioShock. I think if they did a bit of what Dark Souls does so well, or that kind of series, imagine BioShock where, you know, you go through one area and it's a little bit, again, Metroidvania-ish, where you can reopen areas later. You know what I mean? Like something bigger that maybe the first, you know, area is blocked off. Like BioShock did that in a way, but if you expanded upon that just a little bit bigger, you know, but something where, let's say that the full game is like maybe 40 hours max if you did everything, as a because the main game is like 20 hours. So let's say they doubled that. That would be really cool, where it's just, it feels like a larger game. But yeah, I hope not, because I think then you can really reinforce the graphics on every area. I mean, that's something, again, like Call of Duty, if you look at it, it's so if you just play the single player, especially the last Modern Warfare one, like some of those levels going into the house, I mean, it looks so incredible. Like, just, they're so handcrafted, and I think it'd be cool to still keep that, because you just can't do that with open worlds. Like, no matter how much you try, like, you just lose that.
I think Spider-Man was a good example of a open world game that was done well, that still had a good story, but if you wanted to do the other stuff, you could, but otherwise the story kept you in the whole time. You never, like, just forgot. It's not like, you know, when you were playing Oblivion, you'd find a cave as you're walking, and you've lost 3 hours going in that cave because it's just going down and down and down and down.
No, that's because I was honestly like turned off about that game. Like, I didn't want to play for a while. Like, I love Spider-Man, but I've just never been a huge like brawler type game. Like, even Marvel, like I don't like playing like the Captain America, where you just, I don't know, like the punching. Like Arkham Asylum, Batman was like the only game I could kind of do it, just because I love Batman games, or Batman so much. But James finally beat me down over years. I was like, okay, I finally got it. And I was like, man alive, that story was good. I honestly even teared up during that game, which was really, it was a really great story.
Did you tear up, Joel? Did you tear up?
Oh, dude, absolutely. You know the part too.
Did you tear up, or did you cry?
I was a tear, like several tears came out of my eyes where I had to like wipe my eyes. So it was not like a cry, but it was really emotional. I was like not expecting it. I was like, man, that really
gamer cry.
Which game?
Spider-Man, like the PS4 one or whatever it was. I played the like remastered one and stuff. So.
I haven't played all the DLC, but I've played all the main story. That's a really good game. Beautiful, beautiful graphics.
I want to play the second one because I got like bundled together or whatever. But I was like, wow, this is really, really good.
Well, Miles Morales.
Because I was wondering what the like Miles Morales. Because I was like, what the heck was that? I was like, I thought the last like. What's Spider? I don't follow a lot of the comics, so I was like, who are these characters? Like, what's going on? But man, the story was legitimately fantastic. I mean, honestly, it was way better than like
the Tobey Maguire.
Honestly, to me, it was okay. I have a special thing for the first two.
Me too. I know.
I love Tobey Maguire. I hope he's in the third, whatever this Spider-Man movie. There's like rumors of him coming back, like because multi-universe or stuff or whatever. But yeah, I always like the first, and I think the second one's really good. But
come on,
I enjoyed it better than like. Oh, dude, I love the Bully Maguire videos. Have you seen those?
The what?
You look up on YouTube Bully Maguire. Dude, they just add
I should be podcasting right now, but I'm going to do that
it's
right
amazing.
now.
It's seriously, it's amazing. Look it up. But it adds McGuire from like the third movie when he's like a total douche, and like all these random scenes like defeating Thanos and stuff. But he's always like, "I'm gonna put dirt in your eye." Like it's so stupid. I'm hyping this up. It's really so dumb, but like you're gonna get so lost in it because there's so many of them, and it's just so funny because
That's what the internet is for, is dumb things like that.
But my favorite part, there's like a clip in the third movie where like the camera goes super close, Sam Raimi style, like right up to his mouth, and he goes, I don't even know what he says, but he's like, let's dance or something. And so whenever it like cuts to him about to beat someone, it closes up really close to his mouth, like, let's dance. And then it shows him do like a little dance move and like, kill somebody or whatever. Like it's so ridiculous.
Ben in the chat brings up a good memory. We were on vacation the week that the Spider-Man came out. So like I woke up early that morning and drove to a GameStop, or I forget where I went to get it, whatever store, because I was at the beach on vacation with Ben, and he watched me play it, and like he'd been on the fence about maybe ordering a PS4 like while he was on vacation, so he wasn't didn't know a ton about the game that was coming out. And just watching it like for a few minutes, he was interested and went ahead and got a PS4 Pro just to play it. All right, Joel and James, for everybody listening to the podcast, they're doing their thing where they share secret smiles, and Joel is giggling and nibbling on his fingers.
He's watching the Bully Maguire versus Darth Maul. I've seen that one. They're so stupid, but man, it's so funny.
This is a thing. I'm about to have to check this out later.
It's a huge rabbit hole. There's like hundreds of them, but it's just like every movie. It's like Bully Maguire like takes out like bullies the other Spider-Man. It's so stupid. Oh man!
I put one in the chat. I put one in the chat just for you, Jeremiah.
How we have no main topic, nothing else to talk about, and Dave's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to cut this news off."
I'm watching the old timer there.
What is the timer, Joel? What is the official time?
We're at 27 minutes.
But it's 9:00.
Yeah, well, Dave, you didn't chat I told you to chat in the chat how late you wanted to go.
Oh, I can't pull up the chat on the main screen because I'm doing the backup recording. I actually can't see it. I can't see it.
Do you have your phone? Do you have a smartphone, Dave?
I do, thanks to
and I know you have it because you never walk out of a room without your phone.
Meanwhile, Joel's like hiking into the woods to meet some friends. Not going to charge anything. I don't have a jacket. Also, I have half a granola bar and a lot of spit in my mouth.
I had no granola bars left.
Oh, here we go. Joel, you'll appreciate this. I went hiking on Saturday. It was going to be gone the entire day, right?
Yeah.
I made a peanut butter jelly sandwich and a half for lunch because I was going to be hiking with a pack. I was like, gotta get those extra calories, right? I then immediately had a reminder set on my phone that was going to pop up as I was walking out the door. Don't forget your sandwich. I ignored the reminder, forgot my sandwich. But I had so many snacks with me, already packed, like beef jerky, crackers, chips. Dude, I literally had lunch and then was like handing out snacks to Matthew and like other people.
You know what, Dave? It's like you're so prepared, but not good enough to like remember the actual prepared. That you have to be so extra prepared to respond to the times you just can't remember to bring your actual prepared.
You're not wrong. I am. Yeah, I do forget quite a bit of stuff like that. And then of course I came home and at like 4 p.m. and you think I'm gonna waste that sandwich? No, I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a half when I got home. Waste not.
Just like I had dinner. I had dinner 20 minutes before the podcast, and I just ate all of that Taco Bell.
Oh jeez.
So the Ghost of Tsushima thing you were saying, this is just quick, but they announced a Ghost of Tsushima movie. But here's the cool part. It's being headed up, directed by, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Chad Stileski, the guy who did John Wick. So his whole team. And like to me, that's like as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool because the combat in that game is just so cool. I can really see, like, if you picture John Wick, just the knife parts and stuff, like with the swords and the arrows and stuff. Did you guys ever see that? I didn't see the movie, but I saw the trailer. It looked like trash. The latest Robin Hood movie. It was like so dumb. It was like half apocalyptic, but then they didn't actually go ahead with it being like modern times apocalyptic. It was like old times apocalyptic, like
I don't know
goth
what movie we're talking about.
mall. You got to look it up. It has Jamie Foxx in it, but it has the other.
Oh, the one that yeah. Taron Egerton. Okay, I know which one you're talking
But
about.
anyways, the clip of him like shooting the arrows fast, like that's actually what they do in the game. What you can do in the game, and so I could see you could take that, but just make it really stylistic. But honestly, I think they're gonna knock it out, and it's gonna be legit cool because that island, it's a real island. It's the tourism like skyrocketed after the game, like absolutely. It's the first game I've ever completed every trophy, everything. It's the very first game I've ever done.
I didn't know
like,
that.
I mean,
That's,
literally everything. And it's not even that long of a game. I think it maybe took me 60 hours. That was an incredible game.
I'm looking forward to
casual.
playing it. Do you you have it physically, right? I could just borrow like the disc, right?
No.
Good
Do
thing.
I look like a physical man?
Put it on the dock. You've had some zingers tonight. I'll lend you my handy whip. And do I look like a physical man?
Said through gritted teeth.
It doesn't. It's a joke anyway. I have your PlayStation login.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Who
And
doesn't?
Seriously, enjoy it. Play the game. It's so beautifully made. The gameplay is incredibly tight. I ended up playing the game on the hardest difficulty, actually. Like, after a few hours, I put it on just because, I mean, you get so good at the game. It's not that hard, but putting on full difficulty is like a blast. Like, just raiding a camp, because it's quick. That's the interesting part. Like the latest... Oh, yeah, I deleted the latest Assassin's Creed, like the Viking one. I got pretty far, and I was like, you know what? I've done this before, and this story is really bad. I was like... I could, and I like completing stuff, but I was like, no, I'm just not having fun.
You were
Delete
loving
it.
the story about 15 hours in.
I really liked it at the start. I really did.
Okay.
But then I got to this part, I'm like, oh, there's really is nothing different.
Dude, that was me. That was me
all
buying
the same.
Red Dead when Joel was like, "Dude, you gotta buy the original Red Dead for PS." Like it was on. I got it on PS3 when I got it. It's like you gotta get it. It's amazing. He's amazing. So I bought it. We played multiplayer like a couple times, and he's like, "I'm kind of done with it." I was like, "I just spent like $60."
I got 20 hours in the game because I mean, like, it was an incredible 20 hours. But then as soon as I realized literally nothing matters, I kind of
petered
like
off
stole
around the
my
same time.
gameplay.
I kind of petered off too.
Like, to me, I think if I actually might try it again, and if I do, I'm literally going to do just the main story and not deviate.
Isn't just the
one
main
bit.
story still like 40, 50 hours?
Yeah, it's so long, but to me, it's annoying because like, literally you just ride for an hour, you shoot two guys, which takes literally no skill, absolutely zero skill, and then you ride back. Like, to me, like Ghost of Tsushima is like a billion times better game to me because it's like you actually have to use a little bit of skill for any kind of fight. Like Red Dead, like literally it's like bam, 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 okay, it's done. Like if it was like, oh crap, I got 15 bullets, you got to take out someone in the den, you have to actually look around for ammo. I never had to pick up ammo, never had to look for it, didn't have to polish my guns, clean my guns, repair my guns. It was all waste. It was like, I thought my guns were actually going to break, so I went to repair them, and it was like, literally, it's useless. So unless you just immersion role playing, which Dave did, so he didn't actually notice any of that, didn't actually matter. But like, you didn't actually have to do any of that, and that just bothered me.
In which game are you talking about?
Red Dead.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I
I
talking about
brought
Red
up
Dead.
Red Dead.
We swapped over to Red Dead.
So you didn't like the story in Red Dead?
No,
You're talking about the original Red Dead Redemption.
I enjoyed the Red Dead 2 story. It's just that as soon as I realized like the gameplay I was doing, like I just got tired because I'm like the gameplay was so boring to me because there was just no difficulty. It was like child's play for shooting, and it's not even like just the auto targeting, but it's auto targeting for everything. They did it for all those games. It's bad. It was just not hard. Like you never have to plan anything. I would go find a bounty, like I said, to go kill some dude, right? I would literally see him down on a cliff sitting by like a log, and I was like, "Ooh, I can snipe him, take him out." I'm shooting him for like 5 minutes. I'm like, "Am my bullets not hitting him?" No, you can't actually kill a bad guy. You have to go down there. You have to talk with him. It was just, I don't know. It was like a tiny single player game put in a giant world with nothing. I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan.
We still have to
grind
argue
some
about that
gears.
sometime, Joel.
In news related to that,
Yeah, we
'cause
should.
Dave still he won't tell us like when he needs to end the podcast here. Just bring it up. Just compromise the safety recording over there.
He's reading his phone with a side eye.
We're gonna be scheduling some. We're gonna be scheduling some casual conversations. We'll probably record them offline. I guess we hadn't really planned it, but we specifically want to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then probably do like a Cyberpunk spoiler cast.
Joel and I still need to like have our conclusion to Star Wars.
Do
A
you?
5-hour epic podcast.
We never like recorded anything. The podcast was over by the time Rise of Skywalker came
Oh
out.
yeah,
Rise of Skullwalker.
yeah. You guys were doing the whole. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we should do that.
Okay, so we're going to be doing some of those. I have a news item. So Days Gone PC gameplay revealed. So kind of the meta story here is Sony announced they were going to bring more of their first party titles to PC, which I think is incredible. It is so crazy. Think of like most of the time the podcast has been running. How often do you have Microsoft and Sony both doing PC specific stuff, like, and and advertising it? Like I it's just so crazy to see, and I think it's awesome. It's probably easier because modern consoles are as close to PCs as they've ever been. But I would really like more Sony first-party titles to come to PC because, you know, I love Sony first-party titles, but I also would definitely rather play on the PC. And after, like, as much money as has gone into it over the past 6 months, I better play it on PC. But Days Gone...
I wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying. I wonder if they're releasing it because I think they've seen more and more that like, hey, you know, we can put a game out on PlayStation depending on the success of it. Because I think like the game Days Gone, like it wasn't a massive success. You know, it did okay, and I think it's kind of like, why not? Like if we can, and if it's the system's fairly similar, it's like it doesn't seem to be hurting PlayStation. I think they would not do it if they found it legitimately as hurting the PlayStation brand.
They're probably like, yeah,
But I think
what's
they're kind of
what's the
realizing,
downside?
just more people want to play it. That's cool because you might never be able to ever, you know, convert someone who is really diehard PC to just ever get a. They're just never gonna do it, but they'd be interested in maybe playing
Well,
the game.
I have a theory, because if you have a PC, it makes so much sense
Yeah.
to have Game Pass, and if you have a PC and you have Game Pass, why do you need an Xbox that bad? I bet Sony sees this as it is carving up Xbox's market share a little bit more, because people like me, like I'm not going to buy an Xbox Series X because I've got a PC and like everything plays on both of them. So I'm exactly their market. I would rather have a PlayStation and a PC because then I can cover all my bases. So like they're eating into just the overall Xbox market share by putting their exclusives on PC. It makes a ton of sense. I don't know. I think it's cool.
No,
So it's
I don't
coming
know.
out.
There's a point where they could put too much out and make themselves obsolete for a certain market, not for everybody. I mean, there's still going to be plenty of people that don't get into gaming at all on a PC that will,
Yeah.
you know, want the Xbox or PS4 experience, PS5 experience,
The PlayStation experience.
like Joel. I
Yeah,
mean,
Joel,
Joel has been in PC gaming. He's been,
Yeah.
you know, he's not like just a casual gamer, but that's still his preferred method, to sit on his couch and use a console and have that instant on specific
I
menu
don't know if it's
style.
to sit on his couch. It's to lay on his couch with a blanket all the way over him with the lights on.
Yeah.
Cavort. In his
Yeah, I mean
blankets.
it's that, but it's also a few other things. Kind of like, I like my wife. Like she will sit down and watch me play a game, and obviously I can do that over the PC. I can plug it into my monitor and stuff like that. But I mean, you guys have been playing on PC long enough to know that it's not just always like a simple one click. You know, you might have to have like a keyboard, you have to have a touchpad sometimes, depending on whatever it is. And I'm like, I've done that enough. I'm like, I'm totally happy with it, and I'm excited for all the crossplay stuff because that's wonderful. Like, Apex is now crossplay. Call of Duty. I think they're seeing, wow, this works, and we should have been doing this a long time ago. Like, it's really not that big of a deal for people. Like, really, I mean, like, you don't hear about the whining of like, oh man, I'm playing against a PC player. It's like people just want to play together. Like, you can play on Switch and play a first-person shooter, and people are gonna destroy you. Like, they're gods on it, you know. Everywhere there's someone that's really good at the game. So it's like, to me, I just want to play with you. I'm like, I'm gonna get my butt handed to me on PC. I might as well get it handed to me on console too. Like, I just want to play with you guys, or just go, hey, Dave's playing. Like, if Battlefield was on
It was crossplay.
Crossplay. If Dave says like, "Hey, we're gonna play," yeah, I'll jump in. But like every time, I always click on Origin. I got to update, and like that always is a hurdle for me because I just don't leave my computer running, or I don't use it enough that it would just easily update on the background. So
Yeah.
good one.
I am excited to see crossplay becoming more prevalent. The game I previewed this week and listed, the World War II game, is already in open beta. It's crossplay across all the consoles and PC just right off the bat.
It is funny how like the first domino or two falls, and then everyone's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
this is something we got to do. It's expected."
It's like a default.
Sony
Yeah.
was a big domino to knock over, though.
Yeah,
Like, they were really resistant.
yeah. Dave, what's this other thing you have on? What are you playing?
Oh, are we doing what are we playing?
Oh well, you just said you were playing listed, so I was just gonna. I haven't played anything, so
Yeah, if we're doing that, I guess we'll roll with it. But you've getting listed this week. Accidentally played almost 20 hours. Whoops. A lot of fun. I continued work on the Fallout build that I'm working on this week by quite a bit. Got a lot done on that. So yes, Joel,
Finally getting close.
Santa Claus does exist. I think I got a solid
I can't
plan.
wait. Can't wait. So, weeks away, months away. If all goes to plan,
Well, I'm going to be on vacation next week.
yeah, right.
but
If
I'm
stars
looking at-
align,
Yeah,
next couple months,
next couple of weeks is what I'm looking at.
sweet.
Because my original goal was I wanted to kind of try to see if we could record it like right before vacation. But now I think what I might do is just try to get like 90% of it done. So when I get back, I can kind of like look over it for like a couple more hours, do a few more passes, and then a few months later we can record the tour.
Dave, I saw a message in chat. It was someone saying, "Oh, Dave strongly disagrees with Joel right now." It made me think of something about with Red Dead, because obviously you get immersed in certain games, and I was like, you know what we need to do, Dave? We need to have just an immersion cast. Just
We've done
you
that
and I
before.
discuss about immersion. Are we talking about? Well, maybe this is a different. Maybe
Okay.
that I thought of a different perspective, and I was like, obviously every one of us, I think, gets immersed in a different way. Like something
Sure.
is the thing that triggers you to be, oh, I feel immersed in the game. And my thought for like what makes me immersed in a game is, for example, like when I play like this is a really good example. In Demon Souls, when I'm walking down like a cave corridor or whatever, right? Like, and you're walking slow and you get your shield up. I'm not walking slow because I want to role play because I'm a knight and I'm in a scary land. I'm not immersed because of that. I'm walking slow because the world makes me feel danger, and I feel like I'm being cautious and I want to take my time and hear a monster at any moment. So like that makes me immersed because the gameplay makes me immersed. Like it forces me. Like it's like because the danger is there, I feel like I need to have that shield. And so I think with something like Red Dead, like as good as the story is, to me it's kind of like the gun that I'm carrying, it doesn't make me feel immersed because I don't feel like I've like learned anything. Like Kingdom Come, like when you fight with a sword and you get stronger, like then you feel like I can finally tackle these bandits. So then I feel immersed because I have to go repair my weapons because otherwise I'm going to get my butt handed. Like it will happen. But when there's like gameplay, to me always trumps everything else, always. And so I love a good story, but when that gameplay is like the sounds are really working and I'm like forced to like, crap, how many potions do I have? Like that I feel immersed because I feel like at any moment something real is going to come out and really change my gameplay right there. And so if I'm not looking, that I feel like I'm in a real place because I feel like the world's going to do something to me. And so when I have that kind of immersion, I'll play almost any game, like because I'm hooked. So, anyways, that's my thought. So,
I have to run some of this by you, Joel, because there's a script I'm working on. I think you'd be interested on.
Dave wrote us a movie. It's called Red Dead Redemption 2.
And me. It's a script basically about how I view immersion, because that's kind of
I would love to hear that.
it's kind of the subtitle for my entire channel, right? I share games that I enjoy because I get really into them, and that goes for single player and multiplayer. But
And the ones you get paid for.
well, don't worry, James. I can immerse myself in those two up to the eyeballs.
I love this game. $100 bills.
The raid Shadow Legends just makes me cry.
I just lost my entire train of thought.
Sorry.
It's completely gone.
No,
You've read
I
a script,
would love
immersion
that.
script.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
that- yeah.
It's because I think I do have a slightly unusual perspective that not everyone always gets.
I would agree.
Wow, flexing
But-
on us over here. I have an unusual perspective. People pay
No,
me.
no,
Because I'm
I don't-
special.
that's both a good flex and a bad flex.
That's true.
But it's an interesting one. It's interesting.
And it's because I don't want to give away the entire video idea because I've been working on the script for like on and up for like a couple of years. Just gonna
It's
throw
Red
it away.
Redemption, me, and me.
I'm just gonna throw away the entire script idea out here in the podcast, but it's because to me, I really look at games the same way that I used to look at going to the library and grabbing a book. To me, games is virtual tourism. The gameplay is completely secondary to the totality of the experience.
That's so,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
I mean, it makes total sense because I mean, like, Dave came over once and we were playing. I had just gotten the newest Amnesia or whatever that
Machine for Pigs.
Here we
Machine
go. I
for
know what
Pigs.
this story is.
Right. So I think this like this is different for Dave. So when a game says like you learn to crouch and a title might say, you know, you got to hide from enemies, right? Dave's like, this is now a mechanic. I'm learning this now. The game told me to do this. I'm now crouching and I'm looking for someone.
Like my
to
character's not
me-
learning it. I am learning it.
Yeah, but what's fascinating is, so right from there, Dave would grab a chair and he'd be holding it, right? He literally grabbed like a physical chair in the game, like the physics object, and he's holding it. And like, I'm like, because what's fascinating to me is I'm like, Dave's played a zillion games. He knows how tutorial sections work. You know, when you get that one log, you got to jump over, press spacebar to jump. You know, we know that. But Dave was like taking it so serious. But to me, I go, I'm immersed when I have to hide. Like in Alien Isolation, the first time you see the alien, you really don't have to do anything. Like it's not going to find you because it's like the introduction of there's an alien on board. But no, Dave's like, he's clearly behind a fence and Dave's like going so slow. And to me, I go, I'm not immersed yet because I know it's not going to hurt me. But the moment now the game's real, it's like now I'm immersed because my decisions actively affect what's happening to me. But
Really?
I think Dave, he role plays through it all.
I mean, to be fair though,
But-
we did a bank heist and you were like trying to do the 2 key cards at the same time one time. You remember that? Like, I'm just throwing that
No,
out there.
yeah, that's true. You got
Random
me.
memory.
You got me.
Well, it's now mail time.
We have mail?
Dude, the thing is,
I remember that song.
Mail time?
yeah, that's not the
Mail
song.
time?
We've got mail.
So you just really surprised me. I'm like, wow, all right, cool.
Well, I asked people to write in about the receipts thing, remember?
Oh, dude, I've not been doing any of the time.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I've been watching the clock. Whatever, it's just to keep
just
us.
been watching.
I don't know. It's
All right. So
Okay,
Noah
good.
writes in.
Watching Jeremiah clap, watching the time go by.
We're just vibing. That's the podcast. Noah says, as a fellow type A person, I hate to admit that I do not scan receipts into my computer. I do hang on to boxes and parts for as long as possible, though. I also do that. In fact, I'm going to have to ditch a couple boxes of miscellaneous PC parts soon to make room for a gun safe because I'm running out of room for my firearms. Will it be worth it? I think Dave would say so.
Order is safety.
That's literally like choosing between 2 parents. Do I respect Jeremiah's wishes or Dave's wishes?
And then CM Step wrote into casualshenanigans@gmail.com to be a part of the show just like you can and says, hey, Jeremiah, I just got done watching y'all's latest pod. To be fair, I actually have stopped the vid to write this email before I forget. But I don't necessarily keep all my bills, but my mom does. Also, I do keep all my big purchase receipts and also still have every receipt from every paycheck I've ever received. I hope this helps you not get bullied so much by Joel. Hope you guys keep the pod going. Best of luck. Wishes to y'all. Roll Tide from Cameron. P.S. If I give money to the Patreon, will Joel do a funny voice like he used to?
Yes.
No.
Well, I was about to bully him for his use of pod and vid. I was hoping he was going to continue that throughout the rest of it and say like my perch is my perch or whatever. Pod and vid, really? Like too lazy to type out those words.
He's
but all the
offering to give
rest.
us money on Patreon, Joel.
This is why people pay the big bucks for these rants. Let's
Joel's
be
like,
clear.
that's a really nice offer. I'm going to cyberbully you now.
You're giving me your lunch money, kid, but I want your brother's lunch money too.
The lunch money,
I wanna embarrass you while I take
it feels better when it's shook out of their pockets a few feet above the floor.
Jeremiah, can I write into the show with 3 quick confessions?
Sure.
You guys already know these, but
3 quick confessions.
Jeremiah's obsession problem, hoarding problem is what I'll call it, inspired me to go through my desk filing cabinet here a few days ago. And my 3 most shameful finds that I found in my filing cabinet were, first one was I kept an invoice from a free 2 gigabyte flash drive that I got from Newegg as part of an order from, it was 2007. I'm looking at it, I'm like, just in case they accuse me of stealing it, gotta have the invoice for your free flash drive. 14 years later. The second thing that actually made me laugh out loud was I kept a program contract from work, my first job. It was like from 2009, but I had literally written in red marker across this paperwork from work, obsolete / expired on the paperwork, like a huge stack of like financial paperwork from work, and then I filed it away. Why? Why?
Dave, right now, what would you think is your best guess? Do you think it was, this is obsolete, I'm gonna toss it away tomorrow, like next week? Like, this is obsolete.
More like next year, probably.
Yeah.
It's like I'll take it
next year. This is obsolete. Please toss away as soon as possible. 13 years later.
And the one thing that made me laugh, and I actually did keep this one single sheet, is I printed off the email from my first job offer in college, which ended up having to pay for my degree and all. That was actually kind of cool to find. I was like, man, like this led eventually down the path to the job I have now, and a whole bunch of stuff. So I actually ended up keeping that. But I was like, wait, why did I print this off originally? That's my my hoarding confessions. That contract that made me laugh so hard. Literally written obsolete on the form filed.
Oh, sorry, you had more confessions.
No, that was it.
Oh,
That was
okay.
That was the third one.
my 3.
So do we want to, if Dave's not here next week, Dave, you weren't interested in the Zack Snyder thing, were you?
Not at all.
Okay, maybe we should record that next week instead of a podcast, if you guys want to and you're available. We haven't really discussed this before now. You know what? We'll do this offline. This doesn't feel like it during the podcast conversation. All right. Thank you for tuning in to be a part of the show. Man, this, let us know what you think about this show. I treat this like a bonus episode. But thank you.
All the episodes so far have been bonus.
That's true. You're all lucky to get these. I only made the I guess we're back artwork up through 224, which is this podcast. So will there be a 225? We'll see.
This podcast is like those old DVD menus where you'd find like the secret little icons and find like extra deleted scenes. I remember finding the Star Wars one on the Star Wars DVD, like the blooper reel of like all the crappy CGI Yoda like things that went wrong. Man, I was like, whoa! There's
The question is, are those secret menus, Joel, or just really poor UI where they just didn't show?
No, they would actually put
They
Easter
would
eggs.
put Easter eggs into
Yeah.
DVD menus.
Oh, really?
You would go on like the
You
THX
like click
setting.
on like the little random thing on the screen.
Yeah, you'd like hit up, right, and it would go to a little speck or something like that, and they hide stuff on it. Yeah,
Kids these days don't know.
that was a thing.
All right, so
Dave,
nope, go ahead.
No. Hit me, Joel.
Dave was telling me about a movie he wants to watch, and I was like, "Do you have it, or do you just have it in your Amazon wish list?"
A valid question.
He's like, "I don't hold on to that for that long," and he's like, "I do hold on to things for that long in my wish list."
What I didn't tell you, Joel, is I answered, of course I have it on Blu-ray. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Because it had been on my wish list for about 3 years before I had purchased it. But now I have it. I got it
How
for
do you
half
even
off.
go through your
movie
wish
is
list?
it?
They gotta be so huge.
I think Shin
What movie?
Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla. Good catch. Dun 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 dun.
So
dun, dun, dun.
I guess since we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you guys bullied me for saving receipts and stuff, I'll have you know this past weekend I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I finally went to my closet and I was like, you know what? I'm not going back into the office, and I have a lot of very nice office clothes that I bought over the last few years. I'm like, not just because they don't fit anymore, but I'm going to get rid of all of these. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff I'm taking pictures of and putting on eBay right now.
I will peruse if there's.
Yeah, you can peruse if you want. Last time I
Time to update the old wardrobe.
last time I
I can clothe me and my family. off of one shirt.
Well, last time I outgrew a bunch of pants.
Children, get under the tent. Pulls out a parka. I'm allowed to do this because I got you Taco Bell.
It's true. It's true.
That earned me a few.
As the eldest, I'm allowed to get away with a lot of stuff too. 'Cause I'm senile.
Well, the thing's funny to me is last time I got too fat for a whole set of pants, Dave got them all.
I would say probably about 10% of the pants that I wear on like a given 6 months are Jeremiah's pants.
Maybe you should start setting him Taco Bell yourself, Dave. The cheapest way to shop.
Well, so fortunately, the ones I've all outgrown now, it's due to muscle reasons. My thighs are too big for slim fit pants. I can't wear them anymore. I have athletic thighs.
That makes sense, but it's still funny. It makes sense, but it's just
That I have athletic thighs.
Athletic legs.
Oh, that I'm athletic, period. That's the joke.
Does Jeremiah hear that music when he comes into town, into the city? Dun, 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 dun.
Godzilla! We appreciate you, Jeremiah.
I appreciate you guys.
Did you
too.
eat both of those cinnamon twists?
No, Hope saved one.
Oh, cool.
I did eat all 3 tacos and the cinnamon twist and the slushie though. I'm not gonna.
Did it come with another drink? Because it said it. I think I chose some peach drink.
It
come with 2 drinks?
The slushie, no, it was only one.
The driver's
Grubhub
drink.
I've never gotten
Those Grubhub
Grubhub
perks.
or any of those like meal delivery things
It's grub hug. I like that. Ship some people hugs.
from a grubby person. Some contractor's
some
gonna knock
big
on the
old guy
door.
walks, down for a hug, boy.
Amazon will start. That's the next dystopian Amazon thing they do to their delivery drivers. It's like this person paid for a hug delivery. This person who's just had to poop in a bag in the back of their van to stay on track has to come give you a hug. If you're a UPS driver, and you listen to the podcast, let us know the weirdest place you've pooped on the job. You can write into casualshenanigans.
Ooh, yeah.
gmail.com to be a part of the show. Just like
We need
Joel's like, CC me on that too.
Because I
I need it
can
to my personal address.
So this is like, you know, when a pope dies. Sorry, when a pope dies, and all the cardinals come together in the Vatican, and they finally, when they burn smoke out of that one chimney, that means they've made their decision. So like with Joel, we're all gathered around like a mountain of trash that Joel's behind, waiting for the next movie to start, and we're just waiting for the smell. We're like, inspiration struck. We can begin.
Remind me next time. I do have a funny bathroom story just recently.
This sounds like the podcast
Since
to
last
empty it out
week?
on. Yeah.
What's
Is
that?
it a quick one?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty quick. So I forget what we were talking about. We were joking about something, but I happened to been on the toilet, but I was having a hard time going. I think Jeremiah said something like, and then James piled on. I laughed so hard, like it all came out really fast. I was grateful for the laughs. I was like, wow, that worked out really well. Like I was relaxed, and I was so hard.
You made it sound like we're all in the bathroom with you. I was sitting in the bathroom. I couldn't go. Jeremiah said something. James piled on.
Joel has like an emergency button. It's like life alert. He's like, guys, I can't go. Get over here quick.
Joel, you need to make that app. You need to make that app.
I know. It's so me and Eric, like in John College, we always like we pretend to use that app all the time. We'd be like, dude, he just goes help, and we just go tap 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 tap. I don't think I ever shared my app idea on the podcast.
Oh, don't share it here, Joel.
No.
I think it's too good of an idea to share on the air.
Yeah,
Seriously.
it's so
Like
good.
you talked about Norman for years, and no one stole that idea, but this might be the one.
Yeah, somehow this will be the one though.
Yeah, but now remember when you used to joke how this would be the thing that would make you all your money while no one cared about Norman? Norman's out now. So it can't be that.
And no one cares.
No, that's not what I meant.
No, okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and being a part of the show. As always, I'm Jeremiah, joined with James, Joel, and Dave. And we'll see you whenever we do this next time. Until then, stay casual.
Like we do.